February 28, 2026, 9:40 a.m. 30 hypersonic missiles tear through the upper atmosphere at 5 times the speed of sound, detonating directly over a heavily guarded compound in Tehran. The target was Ayatollah Khamenei. For 36 years, he had been shielded by a security apparatus designed to make any conventional assassination attempt a mathematical failure. His base of operations was the Pasteur Street compound, a 30-acre complex locked down by 3 distinct concentric layers of elite security forces, isolating the central Beit A Rotbari building from the rest of the city. But the surface was only a shell. Sprawling 5 kilometers beneath the streets was a tunnel network connecting the entire government district to a command bunker buried so deep it required a 5-minute elevator ride to reach. Striking this location presented a unique tactical nightmare. Khamenei was protected by a system built to survive a direct military invasion, rendering him immune to any standard strike. The path to breaching that system began in early 2018. Mossad agents cut through the iron safes of a secret warehouse in Shurabad and escaped with half a ton of classified Iranian nuclear documents. Those documents provided a reality check. They revealed hidden underground sites that satellites had never detected, proving that as long as the core leadership remained intact, any bombed facility would simply be rebuilt in a new secret location. Israel realized that halting the nuclear program required a new objective: the removal of Khamenei himself. But an immediate strike was impossible. Killing a head of state risks triggering a full-scale regional war, a move that requires total intelligence certainty and the full backing of the United States. This geopolitical risk forced Israel into a strategic delay. They traded immediate action for a decade-long intelligence marathon, meticulously mapping the compound's digital and physical vulnerabilities. They started from 500 kilometers above. A fleet of U.S. and Israeli satellites monitored the Pasteur Street compound around the clock, calculating the height of every antenna and rooftop object by the length of their shadows. Meanwhile, the Orion satellites swept the airspace, intercepting every order an Iranian commander gave over a walkie-talkie or radio. That data was beamed directly to the Australian outback, to a secretive CIA facility called Pine Gap, where every intercepted signal was processed and decoded. While the satellites watched the sky, Israel's Unit 8200 exploited the ground. They discovered a firmware bug in the Chinese-made cameras used throughout Tehran's surveillance grid, allowing hackers to remotely take control of the compound's own eyes. They also deployed Pegasus spyware to infect the phones of Khamenei's cooks, drivers, and doctors. Iran attempted to counter this by laying specialized fiber optic cables to keep their communications off the air, but the infiltration was already too deep. It was a digital siege. Iran's reliance on extensive surveillance technology had become the very weapon Israel used to blind them. Mossad supplemented this digital data with human assets on the ground. Agents posing as plumbers and electricians entered the compound to track food deliveries and analyze the waste coming out of the Beit A Robbery building. By late 2024, Israel was sitting on millions of hours of hacked video, agent reports, and tapped calls, a dataset too massive for any human team to analyze. They processed this mountain of information through the Maven Smart system. By analyzing thousands of variables, the software decoded Khamenei's pattern of life, identifying predictable habits in his security shifts, convoy routes, and daily movements. In November 2024, the election of Donald Trump shifted the political landscape, providing Israel with the aggressive U.S. support they had been waiting for. On February 27, 2026, intelligence confirmed a high-level meeting scheduled for the next morning. Crucially, the meeting would take place in the upper area of the compound rather than the bunker. AI had transformed the nature of the mission. It didn't just track Khamenei's current location, it accurately predicted exactly where he would be standing, turning his daily routine into his greatest vulnerability. On the morning of February 28th, U.S. and Israeli fighter jets launched toward Tehran, timed to arrive just as specialized jamming units cut off all cell service around the compound. To enter the city, they had to neutralize the air defense grid. Unit 8200 activated dormant malware implanted years earlier, blanking out the radar screens of the Russian-made S-300 batteries. As a backup, US EA-18G Growlers flooded the Iranian airspace with electromagnetic interference, blinding any sensors that the malware had missed. Then, pre-smuggled drones hidden inside Iran were activated to physically strike the anti-aircraft batteries that were already blind and paralyzed. The synchronized cyber and electronic attack effectively dismantled the national defense grid, allowing the missiles to reach their target without resistance. At 9:40 a.m., 30 Blue Sparrow missiles hit the Beit A robbery building at hypersonic speeds. The strike annihilated the facility, killing Khamenei instantly. 12 minutes later, the Iranian prayer app Beit A Sabah was hijacked, sending notifications to millions of citizens demanding the military surrender. While most were killed, General Ismail Khamenei survived after reportedly leaving the meeting just minutes before the strike. Having escaped 10 different assassination attempts, his survival led to immediate arrests and allegations of a deep betrayal within the regime. The architects of this strike bypassed the physical fortress through the patient weaponization of data, AI, and a nation's own digital infrastructure. It was the conclusion of a decade-long breach that proved even the most protected target is vulnerable to the data they leave behind.